All right, so we're gonna start with the weights in our hands, okay? And we're gonna straddle this block, so it's gonna be ready for us for our next segment. I'm gonna turn my toes out, and the block is right in the middle. I want you to take those palms, they're gonna face the ceiling, and my arms aren't facing forward, they're turned out here, okay? So I want you to bend your knees and press the arms out. Bring them back in, out, and in. I want you to balance that dinner plate on top of your head. So I'm not going to lean forward or arch back. If this does not feel good to your shoulders, don't use the weights. Inhale and exhale for 4 more. We're moving the arms from our back, those armpit muscles. 2 more, and I'm going to ask you to hold this one down. Sweep across, take it out, and then come up. Bend, across, out, and return. Inhale to exhale. Good. Give me 2 more. Across. And give me 1 more. 1, 2, 3, and return. Turn the palms to face you. We're going to reach those arms out. Pull it back. Center and release. Inhale to exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Make sure that navel is pulling in and up. We move with control, never fast. Make sure your knees are in the same direction as your toes. Good. Give me 2 more, please. Boom, 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 and return. Last one. 1, 2, 3. Good. I'm going to walk my feet in until I'm right near my block. I want you to take 1 foot on top of your block. This is going to be a little bit of balance. So if we don't feel stable on top of the block, I want you to take it away and go onto the mat. If you have a longer foot and it's going over the one end, grab another block and put them in a straight line, okay? I have a pretty small foot, so I don't have that issue. All right, so we're going to start by bending down and then just pressing through the block foot and dangling this foot off the floor. I'll bend both knees and I dangle. I'm looking for these hips to be in a straight line as you come up. Proud chest, and it's dangle. Down and up and down. Now as I come up, I'm going to grab those weights in the hands and do a bicep curl. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. I want you to cross that leg behind. We're going to do a curtsy squat. So we'll take those arms down, and as I come up, I'm going to sweep my leg out. Bigger balance. And sweep. Inhale to exhale. Your core has got to be pulling in and up. Shoulders to the rib cage. And those thighs should be working, wrapping. That's it. Glutes are firing. Keep the shoulders and the hips facing straight ahead. 2 more. I'm going to ask you to try and hold this one up. Take that leg right next to the block. I'm going to sweep that leg out and in. Woo! Out and in. Find that balance. Oh, this is definitely my weaker side. Out and in. 4. Don't make me laugh. 3. 2 more. 1 more. And we'll put that foot back down. Okay, other side. It goes to show you that your instructors aren't perfect. Okay, so we're going to come down again. And we're just going to lift that foot off. Just dangle it down. Try to go straight up, not sideways. Inhale, exhale. So I'm working through the leg that's with the block. Make sure your foot is in the center of that block. I don't want you falling off that block. When you bend down, try to keep your foot flat on your block. So don't be lifting that heel as you come down. That's telling me that your ankle is very tight, right? Yeah, so be careful with that. Don't forget the breath. Let's add a little bicep curl up. Bend, squeeze. Take your time, same speed down, same speed up. 4 more, 3 more, 2 more. Hold this one up, and we'll take that foot behind into our curtsy. So my inner thighs are braided. Weights come down. Sweep the leg up as you bicep curl. If you don't feel comfortable up on that block, stand right next to it on the floor. You'll still bend both legs and sweep. Don't forget the breath. Find that balance by finding the focal point in front of you. Proud chest. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Hold this up. Bring that foot right next to your block. Find your balance. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Thank goodness. Right? Okay. Bend down. Release the weights. Take your block like a tower. We're going to grab onto it. Bend the elbows. Bring it back down. Sweep the arms up. Bend down. Grab onto your block. Bend the elbows. Come down. Sweep. I want a proud chest. We have plenty of block that we don't have to bend so much. It's not as hard, right? And we're bending from the hips and the knees, not our back. I want to see your eyeballs the whole time. If you lose me, you're not looking the correct way. Good. And how about give me a smile? Inhale, exhale. Proud chest, booty back. 2 more. Good. Last one. Curl and reach. Let's do a roll down. Round that spine. Take your time. More weight to the toes and the heels. See how far you can go down. Grab onto your block and pull yourself up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll come back to a standing position in a little bit. Let's take it down to our mats. All right, so one weight on each side of your mat, so it's there for you. We're going to be taking the block on our shins and balancing it on our shins, okay? So we're going to lie back. I'm going to keep my chin to my chest. You can put your head down. I'll tabletop my legs, reach my arms long, knees over hips. If that strains your back, knees way in, okay? And we're going to pump the 100. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe into the nose and out the lips. Inhaling and exhaling. So remember, we're moving the arms from the back, not the front to the shoulder, not the wrists. My back should be nice and heavy on that mat. Now, if you want to add on to this, we can slide out as far as you think you can hold that block on there. Exhale, bring it back in. And inhale. And exhale. 3 more. Inhaling. Exhaling. 2 more. Inhaling. Exhaling. 1 more. Inhaling. Exhaling. Grab your block and rock yourself up. Woo! Okay. Take the block flat on your mat and press the sides of your feet into that block. Sit nice and tall, and we grab back onto these weights. Palms face forward, slightly hinge forward. So the neck is still in line with the spine. It's just forward instead of straight up over my hips. We're going to press up, come straight down. Lift up, bend the elbows. Feel the back of the knees pressing down into the floor. Feel the hamstrings lengthening by flexing those heels. Every time those arms go up, it's a reminder of the spine to stay tall. Don't forget the breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Give me 1 more. And down. and up and bend. Reach for the toes, arms parallel to the floor. Again, drive those heels in front of you. Roll it back, press into your block, melt the shoulders, tuck the tail. There's so much going on. Nod the chin to your chest. Inhale. Exhale. Bring it back. Connect the shoulders to your back. Connect. Inhale to exhale. Nod the chin. Inhale. Exhale, eyes to navel. One more. Melt the shoulders. Inhale to exhale. And bring it up. Inhale and to exhale. Release the weights. Separate the legs wider so your hands can reach the sides of the block. Reach the arms parallel to the floor. And let the arms come up in a nice diagonal with your spine, pressing into the sides of that block. Bring your chest more towards me, like I'm behind you, pushing you forward. Round. Can the block go back exactly where it was? Start to lengthen out from the crown of your head. Arms are right by your ears. We're coming up in this lovely diagonal. Gorgeous. Exhale. Inhale, scoop, lift. On the exhale, really resist, taking it to the crown of the head. Press it back up, round it back forward. Inhale, can you feel your belly lifting you up? Exhale, can you feel those back muscles contracting? Inhale, lengthen. How about the spine? Can it go taller? Exhale, I'm going over a railing. Lift up, I'm still pressing into the sides of that block. Exhale, like I'm trying to push it up as you're pulling it down. Inhale up and exhale. Stack your spine, bend the knees, and take the block between those thighs. Good. Weights will be with you. We're going to lie back down. So I'm going to take my weights into a 90-degree angle. I'm going to draw my knees way into my chest. I want you to keep your back the way it is right now. It should be pretty heavy, imprinting on your mat. As my toes tap down, my weights will tap behind me, keeping that 90-degree angle, and then pull everything back into the middle. Inhale away from your center. Exhale. Now, if you're not able to keep your pelvis stable and your back heavy as you tap the toes down, don't go all the way to the floor. You're only allowed to go to the floor if you're able to keep your back heavy. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. Now, if you want, as the knees come towards you, you can crunch up, eyes to navel. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more. Nothing else is moving. 2 more. Back is constantly imprinting on that mat. 1 more. I'm going to hold it here. I'm going to lengthen my arms and bend them. Lengthen, bend. The arms are parallel. They're not touching the mat. Out and in. Inhale to exhale. 4, can you press in that block a little more so you feel the engagement of the inner thighs? 2 more. 1 more, and release everything down. Weights go off to the side. Put your block underneath your right foot. And make sure the legs are parallel and the feet are parallel. Arms are reaching long to your side. So I'm going to press through my foot that's on the block, and I'm going to bridge up. Good. Put all that weight there and tabletop your left leg. Zip this leg straight up into a Pilates stance. I want you to keep pressing that right inner thigh in towards your center line. We're going to make small circles going towards the other leg and up. Inhale. Exhale. You're more than welcome to put your hips back down if you need it. And now I'm going to reverse. Away, zip up 1. Firmly press the back of those arms into the mat and the back of the shoulders, as well as the back of the head. 1 more. Good. I want you to lower the leg, lower the hips. Raise the hips, lift the leg. 1. Lower everything down, lift up. 2. Inhale, exhale. 3. Down, lift up. 4. Here's 4 more. You're doing great. 3, 2, 1. Cross the ankle over the quad. Let the knee fall out to the side and take your spine back down. I'm going to take my hands behind that right thigh and pull it towards me if I'm able. Bigger stretch to the glute. You deserve that. Put the foot back down. I'm going to slide the block over to the other side. Make sure your foot is on there as best you can. Arms are reaching long, right next to the rib cage. Bridge up. Good. Shoulders down. Back of the arms heavy. Back of the head heavy. Neck is long. Press through the foot that's on the block and lift the right leg up. Keeping your hips level, zip the leg up and turn that kneecap away from you into a Pilates stance. We're going to circle towards the other leg. Lift 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Round to come up 3. Inhale, exhale 4. And inhale, exhale 5. Reverse. Round to come up. Inhale, exhale. You can make them as small as you'd like. I want more control. I'm going to lower the leg, lower the hips, lift it back up. Inhale down, exhale up 2. You better be squeezing that left glute. Woo! Keep the back of the head firmly pressing into the mat. 3 more. 2 more. Last one, cross that ankle over, knee falls out, lower down slowly. If you want bigger stretch, grab behind the left thigh, pull that thigh towards you. Lovely. Good. Take the foot back down to the block. I'm going to slide that block over so both feet have a grip on it. Then I'm going to draw my knees in towards my chest. My arms will go up, palms turned in. Okay? I'm going to reach my arms long as I press my legs out. I'll return back home, arms come straight up. And inhale to exhale. Press into that block. Bring it back down. You never have to lift your head. Don't feel strain to that lower back. So remember, if you have that strain, the legs should go higher up, not lower. 2 more. Pressing it out. Now on this one, I'm going to inhale here. Exhale, bring the legs straight up. Inhale, lower as low as you want. Exhale. Your back has to stay imprinted. Inhale. Can you feel your inner thighs engaging by pressing into that block with the sides of your feet? Yes? Yes. My arms are still reaching long. Palms turned in. 2 more, please. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. And then bend the knees back in, grab onto your block, and take your feet down. I'm going to take my knees to one side. Let my back get a quick little stretch. Use your core to bring the knees back to center. And then we'll take our knees to the other side. Good. And bring it back to center. We're going to rock ourselves up. Knees are going to stay bent. Feet are on the floor. And we're going to take that block between the thighs again. I'm going to come back onto my forearms. You are more than welcome to lie all the way down if that's better for your shoulders. I'm going to take my legs to this tabletop. If there's the block between my thighs, I want the thighs pressing into the block. Same thing that we did lying down. We tap down and bring it up. We inhale down, exhale up. So I want the same stability in your pelvis and in that back. It's not going to move. Feel like it's still imprinting, even though it's not on the mat. And we'll go for 4. 3. Good. 2 more. Give me 1 more. 1 more. We'll take our feet to the floor, press through your hands, and bring it on up. Take this block onto your shins. And my knees are only going to be as wide as my frame, and I'm going to pull myself in this little suitcase. Now, right now should not be like, well, this is a rest pose, because it's not. You're scooping your belly in and up. Remember the ice cream scoop we always talk about? You're scooping and hollowing out those lower abdominals. The shoulders are melted. If you feel strain to your back, put your toes down, okay? Now, if you don't have a back issue, a neck issue, a tailbone issue, you can try to rock. You never throw your head back. Keep your chin to your chest, eyes to navel. Think of butt up to the ceiling, butt to the floor, and balance. Do not think of momentum. Think of a lot of control. Inhaling, scoop to exhale up. If you thud on your tailbone the first time, you can give it one more shot. But don't keep thudding. It won't do any good to your tailbone. And that means your lower back is tight. Yes? Just give me one more. Visualize those vertebrae in the right order. Good. And release. Stretch the legs long. See if you can reach the block behind your toes and reach those fingers towards the edge of that block. Try to push the knees down towards the mat. Just getting a little bit of a hamstring stretch. You might even feel a little bit of stretch in your upper back. Grab onto your block and hold it chest height. We're going to bend the right leg. The block is going to go against that thigh. We're going to tip back to the base of our shoulder blade and bring the other leg up to 45. I'm going to keep that block here, but I'm going to switch the leg, and the opposite leg is going to touch that block. So it's more or less over my rib cage, so that knee is going to come towards me. And switch, 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 tap, tap. I want you pressing into the block with the sides of your hands. Engage those back muscles. You're tapping that block. The other leg is reaching out. Good. Let's inhale for a set. Exhale for a set. Inhale for a set. Exhale. Can you give me one more set? Inhale for a set. Exhale for a set. Put the block on your shins. Pull it towards you. Take note of where your chin is, because a lot of times when you lie on your mat, you end up hyperextending your neck. So make sure you can fit pretty much a fist between the chin and the chest. All right, so I'm going to push into that block as leverage to curl my head up off that mat. You don't have to lift up. So I'm going to take my legs away from my center as well as my arms. I'm going to hold 2, 3, and I'm going to separate my feet and put the block between my ankles. I'm going to reach back out, hold 2, 3, grab back onto your block. Zip those legs together, Pilates V. Bring it back in. Inhale, exhale. Don't move fast, you'll lose that block. Inhale, try to keep that block level. So when you're reaching it out, make sure it's not teeter-tottering. Press equally into your center. You have to have control. Inhaling, exhaling. Last one. Grab onto that block and release. If your neck feels strained, look to each side of the room. Okay? Now, there's a flat side of your block, there's the medium height, and then there's a tower. I'm going to go medium height. If that's too high for you, you'll go flat. We're going to lift up into that bridge, slide that block under the pelvis. Chest is open, back of the head is firmly pushing into the floor, navel zipping in and up. I'm going to take one leg straight up, add the other. So we're balancing here on top of that block. Try not to have the legs go past hip. So you'll know you're doing that because that block won't feel right. So we're going to take the right leg down and the left leg will come towards you, and I'll switch. Inhale, exhale. Every time I go to scissor these legs, it's an exhale. Back of your arms are pushing flat. I always have my anchors. Try to really straighten those legs and then feel like you're sliding those toes along the ceiling. Now I'm going to do a little bicycle in the air. Lengthen and drive it in. Lengthen and drive it in. If you want, you can take that foot and slide it along the mat. That's going to give you a deeper stretch, and the hip flexor might not be for everybody. And I'm going to reverse my bicycle. I'll just hover my mat to start. You've got to feel your belly engaging to move these legs. And if you want, you can touch and slide the leg along the mat. The hips and pelvis should not be moving with you. So you're moving from your center. Good. We're going to bring both legs straight up into a Pilates V. Double straight leg, lower lift. We're going to go down, 2, 3, zip it up. Now make note, the lower my legs go, the more my glutes have to fire. And the back of those thighs wrap, and the inner thighs activate. So all those muscles have to be engaged. Inhaling down, core brings you back up, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale to exhale. I'm going to come down and just take my legs as wide as my mat. So I'm going to go down, out, and up. Down, out, and up. Again, only as wide as the mat. It's more about the belly than the legs and the hips. Let's reverse it. Let's open, down, connect, zip. Inhale, first move. Exhale, second. Around, scoop, exhale. One more. Great. Bend one leg, foot to the floor. Bend the other leg. Bridge up off that block, slide it out. Reach it behind you. Inhale for me. And exhale, melt your spine down. Taking your time, bone by bone. Hug the knees in, block on your shins. You can give a little rock side to side if you need it. Make sure the neck is relaxed. Chin is still a fist width away from the chest. So I'm going to take that block, again, flat to my thighs. And I want you to take one elbow and put it on that block. And I'm going to nod my chin to my chest and add the other elbow. And my hands are right beside my head. So you're going to turn towards the front of the room. And that elbow is going to twist down to the mat. So I'm looking at the front of the room. The back leg is going to reach out and come in. So I'm going to keep that block against that thigh. Inhale. Notice that I've got both hips in a straight line. My back is still heavy. And I'm rotating to the mid back. I go for 3, 2, and 1, and then bring it back. And now that other elbow is on. The other elbow comes off. So I'm looking away from the front of the room. I take that leg, back leg out, or front leg out and in. So it's opposite as the way we're twisted. Inhale. Exhale. I hope you feel the engagement of that oblique, the oblique that you are facing. That's that diagonal side abdominal muscle. 3 more. 3, 2, and 1. Grab onto your block and take your feet down. I'm going to let my knees fall out away from each other. And it's getting a nice stretch in the hips, inner thighs. Good. Bring them back in, and we're going to rock ourselves up. Okay. I'm going to take that block behind me, and you have a choice to sit on top of the block or just sit in front of it. Okay? So you'll pick it. I always give you guys lots of choices in class. I really do. All right, lengthen your legs, and it should be easier to sit up. When your hips are higher than your feet, it's easier to sit tall. Okay? So use this to sit tall. Don't be like, okay, well, I usually sit like this, so I'm just going to go there. No, no. I want you to zip up. Reach those arms long. Connect the shoulders to your back. Think of the puppet string pulling you up. Feet are flexed up to the ceiling. Inhale up. On the exhale, flex the cervical spine, upper back. My arms are still going forward. I stop at the mid back. Pull the navel in. Squeeze your seat. Engage the inner thighs. Inhale up. You shouldn't feel anything in that back coming up. Exhale forward. I want you to watch your navel pushing in as you're going forward. Squeeze all those muscles I mentioned. Inhale up tall, all from the belly. You should be sweating doing this because it is so much work and control. Exhale. Inhale. Are those shoulders still connected? One more. Chin to chest. Peel. Keep flexed. Bring yourself up, and as soon as we're all the way up and your feet are flexed, open up to a T. Twist to the front of the room. Inhale. Exhale. Look at your back hand. Give me that nice rotation. Up from the core. Twist around. Keep twisting. Keep twisting. Exhale. Look at your back hand. Inhale. Up. Remember, we're going forward and adding a scoop to the belly. Inhale. Up. Exhale. One more each direction. Tall. Shoulders are connected. You're wringing water out of that rib cage. One more. Twist, twist, twist. Reach, reach, reach. Bring it up and release. Take those hands onto that block and scoot yourself down. I'm going to straighten my legs. I'm going to do a little bit of some triceps here. If you would rather grab onto your weights, hinge forward, do kickbacks, or these, feel free to, okay? This is a lot of flexion for the wrists, so you may not like it, okay? So here we go. We're going to press up 1, press up 2, press up 3, 4, good, 5, and 6. Put your butt down. Everybody grab onto their block. Reach those arms longer. Your head's going to come forward, and we're going to try and lift that block up. Lower it back down. Sit tall. Open up the chest, legs still together. Head comes forward, arms go up. Now this time, I'm going to add passing that block. So 2 hands are on the block. I'm going to bring it forward. Stay forward. Lift those arms high. My right arm grabs the block. I'm going to reach out, pass it to my left. Bring it back behind me and sit back up. Someone's water bottle? What is that water bottle? Boom. Okay. Head comes forward, arms go up. Now the left hand is going to pass it. And I'm going to try and reach as far as I can. Scoop that belly. Bring it back around. Bring the chest up, the arms down. Lift. Right arm is going to pass it. As my arms go forward, can you push your belly in deeper? Bring it back and lift it up tall. Good. And we take it forward. The left arm is going to reach. Bam. Bring it back. And then zip it up. Okay. Beautiful. All right. So let's have some fun. So let's take our right hand on top of our block. And the block is going to be on the edge of the mat. And the left hand goes on the other side. So if you want to do your push-ups in a quadruped position, here is where you would start. Next level, I would take my knees back and lower my hips. So I still feel my core engaged. Harder, you would simply take your legs back, and they can be wider if you choose, okay? So you're going to pick your poison, and here we go. We're going to inhale down, exhale up. Keep the crown of your head reaching long. Pull the belly in strong. Inhaling and exhaling. 2 more. Inhale, exhale. One more. Good. Bring those knees closer and stretch back. Flip those palms and curl the fingertips to the wrists. Switch the block to the other side. And again, you don't have to use the block at all, okay? You can be in a quadruped, level 1. Knees back, modified plank, level 2. Flex those heels back, level 3, okay? We're gonna do 6. Here we go. Inhale down. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Again, crown of the head's reaching long. No ponytail push-ups, where you nod your head down, the ponytail touches, and nothing else does. I believe we have one more. I'll walk my knees in, and I'll stretch back and release my wrists. Good. Okay, so we're going to take this block off to the side, and I'm going to go with my weights. We're going to come down onto our stomachs. And I want you to reach the arms to your side with your palms up. The legs are sits bone width apart. You're resting your head on the mat. Your navel is pulling in, making a house for a mouse. I want you to shrug your shoulders to your ears, roll them up towards the ceiling. The weights are going to lift, the chest is going to lift, and the shoulders are going to go down towards your heels, and you're squeezing your seat. And release. Whew. Shrug to your ears, roll them up, and then so far down, the weights are lifting and they're reaching for your heels. I'm still keeping my crown of my head long. I'm not hyperextending. I come back down. Shrug, up, lengthen. And shrug, roll, lift and lengthen. Return, pull the belly in. 2 more. Shrug, lift. Chest is lifting, shoulder blades coming together in the middle. We lift up, we hold this, we release the weights. We'll stretch back gently, slowly, with control into that child's pose. Awesome. Okay, bring your block back onto your mat. We're going to put it flat ways. We're going to press the palms of the hands into the ends of the block. If you want to just stay here in this position, as if this is your forearm plank, fine. Again, knees can go back, or you can flex and reach long. So find where you want to be. If you feel your lower back has strain, you got to get those hips up higher. If you feel that your core is not engaged, you got to pull that belly in deeper. Press into that block to remind these muscles to work. And I'm going to hold it for 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3. And I want you to push through those forearms. Can you pike up your seat? Your head will go towards the floor. And then bring it back out. Can you try that again? Legs stay straight. Feel those armpit muscles working. And then drop those hips again into parallel. Pike up, inhale. Exhale, lengthen. One more. Lengthen up. Lengthen down. Bring your knees forward and stretch back once again. Take some nice deep breaths here while we're stretching and resting. An inhale and an exhale. Give me one more. An inhale and an exhale. All right. Turn the block longwise. And we're going to take our right knee on top of it. And I'm going to take my left leg straight back. And I want your shoulders and your wrists in a straight line. So if your shoulders and wrists are feeling kind of tired, you're going to hold this position. Next level, I'm going to tell you to press the hands deeper into the mat, pull the belly in, and lift that knee off the block and put it back down. It's possible. Scoop to lift. So I want your navel feeling like it's the suction cup pulling this knee up and then down. And we lift up and down. Minimal movements. I don't want to see your butt going like this because that's not really difficult, is it? That's not challenging at all. Good. I'm going to lift this up. Now hold it up. I'm going to straighten that leg back. I'm going to bring it back in and lower it back onto the block. Pull it up. Press it out. Hover. Put it down. Can you do 2 more? Pull it up. Push it out. Over the block. And down. 1 more. Lengthen. Hover. Release. Bring the other leg in. And we'll sit back on the heels and circle those wrists. Wasn't that fun? Okay. Other side. So if you want to modify, let's say don't use the block, go onto your forearms, right? And just do a little lift there, right? So there's all kinds of different ways to make this work, okay? All right, so I'm going to put my left knee on that block. Shoulders and wrists in a straight line. Lengthen the other leg back. Hips are in line with your shoulders. Pull your navel in. We're going to lift up and down. So squeeze those armpits up and down. And tap. Take your time. Do as many reps as you'd like. I'm going to add on. Knee off. Straighten the leg. Hover. Back on. Minimal change in the shape of that back. Just 2 more. Up. Out. Hover. 1 more. Lift. Press. Hover. Bring the other leg in. And I'll sit back. Woo! Yes, you deserve this little stretch. Okay. All right, so we're going to sit on our seat. We're going to take this block this high. So it's not the flat version, I call it the middle. And if this isn't challenging enough for you, we'll switch it. All right. So once you take 1 foot on top of the block, open up the chest. You can either have the elbow soft or extended. We're going to take the leg that's on the block. We're going to tap it down and bring it up. I like to do this with a flexed foot. You are working here on strengthening the front of that hip. Of course, the core is involved because everything comes from the core. So I feel when I move my leg back up, my belly is pulling in deeper. Can you feel that in the front of that hip? Only do as many as is okay. Don't have to keep going. I'm going to do 1 more. And I'm going to put the other foot on top. So from the belly, I lift that leg. Okay, check in. Are you opening up the chest, the shoulders down? And we take it down, flex that foot, tap it up. Down. If this is too high for you, take it to the flatter version. Down. And take your time. In Pilates, we have control, precision, breath, flowing movement, moving from our center. Did I mention concentration? You guys aren't even listening. Are you listening? Did I lose you? A lot to teach, a lot to teach. It's not just movement. It's how you are moving. 1 more. And then release. Let's do a little butterfly stretch. Pull those ankles towards you. Elbows against the knees. Ah, we are friends again. Okay, so we're going to come on to our side. Stay with me. Stay with me. I'm going to make my block, well, I guess I can keep this way. If you feel you're bumping into it, you can take it flatter. I'm going to go to medium height again. All right, so I'm going to prop myself up onto my forearm. And I want the shoulder and the elbow in a straight line. You can have the hand here if you want more balance. You can have it to your hip. You can have it behind your head, okay? I want you to take this top leg in front of the block. I want you to make sure that your hips are in a straight line, so I can't be leaning back. I also don't want this collapsing, okay? Now, if you have trouble with your lying on your hip, you can do this standing up, okay? Does anybody need to stand up and I'll show you? No? Okay. So we're gonna go up behind, up in front. So now I'm working side hip, outer thigh, glute, and of course, save the best for last, your core. Take your time, don't rush. Up and over. Are you holding a lemon in that bottom armpit and you keeping that bottom rib cage lifted? We'll do 3 more. 3, 1, and 2, 1, and 1, and then stack those legs. I want you to come onto the side of your body. So I want you to lengthen that leg on top of that block again. Make sure the hips are square. My hands flat on the mat. My upper arm is glued to my rib cage. I'm going to lift this leg parallel to my hip. If you bump into your block, you've obviously went below hip height. So we're going to try and keep this leg hip height. We'll see whose block is left standing by the time we're done with the front and back. So we're going to go front, give a push, back. Now I also don't want you aiming too high to avoid the block. So I want you to try and stay parallel to the floor. Kick, give a push. Bring it back, give a push. Your bottom leg should be pushing into that floor. The breath is exhale on the forward kick and push. Inhale on the back. 2 more. Inhale. 1 more. Belly goes in. Back of the thigh and glute fire. And stack your leg back on top of that block. Woo! Now we're going to try and lift this leg up to the block. Inhale. Exhale. Lifting it up, lengthening it long. Just because you're lying on your side doesn't mean it's collapses. We're trying to make that nice and light on that floor. And 3, push the other leg down as you lift this leg up. 2, and 1, and stack. Use your free hand to lift you up. I want you to take your top leg behind you. And I want you to rotate your torso away from that leg. 2 hands are going to come onto the mat, and my elbows are both bent, and my shoulders are connected to my back. Okay, so don't go too low. Just a soft bend in your elbow. And I'm coming forward just enough so I can lift that back leg. You're going to fire that glute to lift that leg. Yes, and I'm facing away from that leg. I'm looking at the corner of the mat. And lift. Yep. And maybe you only can do a few. Maybe you have to take a break longer in between each one. 3, watch that lower back, doesn't get cranky. 2, can you hold this one and pulse it? 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring those legs back in. I want you to flatten your block. One more thing to do. One more thing. So I'm going to come onto my forearm, and I'm going to take my top foot on the block, and I'm going to keep my bottom leg on the mat. Take the hand behind your head, open up your chest. I'm going to push through anything that's touching something. I'm going to lift up and come down. So this is a modification to what we're going to do next. If this is killing your shoulder or your elbow, I don't want you to lift your hip. You are more than welcome to do a clam or a lift from this position. Harder, I'm going to take my bottom leg and stack it underneath. So I got my feet stacked. And I would do 5 more here. I exhale up, inhale down. Same speed up, same speed down. Look straight ahead, please. 2 more. Hold this one up. Woo! And then lower it back down and release. Other side, block is flat. Stay with me, stay with me. All right. So I'm propped up on my forearm. Belly pulls in, hips in a straight line, connect. We're going to go up and over, working the side hip, up and over. Take your time. So as soon as I go to lift my leg, of course, I feel the core pulling in. I feel the glute firing, outer thigh, side hip. Take your time. If you're just moving your leg and not feeling all these muscles that I'm talking about, you're not getting anything out of this. You got to feel your muscles. You got to take your time. Lengthen that leg. Keep the shoulder away from the ear. 4, 3. Do you like these? 2, they're so quiet. 1, and rest the foot on top. Now come on to your side. You can also lay on your arm, okay? Now I'm going to lift this leg, hip height, flex your foot. On the exhale, swing it forward, give it a push, point the toes, back, give a push. Exhale. Inhale, boom, boom. Flex, 1, 2. So remember, it's a big and then a little. It's not just keep swinging in one big movement. There's 2 movements. A big and a little. That bottom leg is important. It's got to stay pushing into the mat. It will help you stay there. Back, and stack your foot back on top of the block. On an inhale, lift your leg up. Exhale, lengthen it to your block. Lift up, lengthen it to your block. Inhale up, exhale down. Up and down. We go for 3. Yep. And 2. And 1. Stack your legs, lift yourself up. Separate your top leg. And I hope I didn't forget anything before this. Am I doing good? Oh, great. No help in the room tonight? You're good with that? All right, so I'm looking away from that leg. It's in the back towards that top corner. I'm going to lift and lower. Lift and lower. Sometimes your instructor gets so excited about what's next that they kind of skip over one of the things that are next. Shoulders are down, connect. You'll have to let me know if I forgot anything. We'll remember it after we've gone, right? Just text me, you forgot this. Lift and lift. So everything here, right? Everything here. 2 more. Hold this one up. Can we pulse it? 8, 7, 6. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lengthen that top leg. I'm going to turn my block this way so I can fit more of my foot flexed on it. You don't have to. All right. You can have your hand behind your head. You can have it to your hip. Lock the shoulder down. You're going to hurt your shoulder if you've got it weighted. So pull it in, okay? You can keep that bottom leg down to start and see how this goes. We're going to lift up our hips and come back down. Lift up our hips and come back down. Lift and lower. Now, if you're not challenged enough and your shoulder seems to be doing okay, lengthen the bottom leg as well. Stack your feet, and we'll do 5 more. And bottom oblique is working here the most. 1 more. Hold this one up and bring it back down. Woo! You made it through that series. Okay, you still with me? Oh, yes. Okay, just a few more minutes left, that's all. Just a few minutes. Face the center. Take that block between the thighs. Grab onto your weights, optional. Notice my feet aren't too close, so slide them further out. So your thighs are in this diagonal. The arms will match the diagonal. Connect the shoulders to your back and give me some pressure in that block. We're going to exhale down. If you know you can't come back up, don't go all the way down. Bring it back up, nod that shin, press into that block. At the very top, I can release the block for a split second. Now I'm going to press back into that block, melt those shoulders. Lower back, mid back, upper back. Nod that shin. Don't drag it off that floor. Press into your block. Woo. Exhale down. Inhale up. Hold this here. I do not feel a release in my core, do you? Flip your palms. Bend your elbows. Lift up. With control, pull that navel in and up, please. 3 more. Take your time. 2 more. Relax those shoulders. Little circles. 4. Move from your back muscles. Pull the belly in. 2 and 1. Reverse it. Can you squeeze your block more? And 3 and 2 and 1. Sit up and round over the waterfall. Relax that neck. Good. Stack your spine. Put those weights down. We're going to come back onto our forearms and elbows and drive the knees in. Now you can stay in this tabletop and we're going to do circles. Okay, I'll show you the next level. We're going to keep alternating the circles. Okay, you can lie down on your back and make small circles. Harder, I'm going to lengthen my legs out. Turn those heels in. And I'll go to one direction, press in the block, pause. Reverse. Reach the toes long, but loose feet, tight seat. Inhale. Exhale. Keep that block tight. One more each side. You've got this. Excellent. Press yourself back up and round forward. Feel like a big wind is trying to blow the belly back and you're trying to reach forward. So feel a nice stretch in that back. Feel the belly strengthening. Take the hands to the mat and start to slide them towards you as you come up nice and tall. Good. Okay, we're going to finish here with a little mermaid stretch. So I'm going to sit up nice and tall. I'm going to bring my arms straight up. I'm going to take one arm down to my side, and I'll soften that elbow. I'm going to push that hip down towards the mat that I'm stretching away from, and bring that arm up. My other arm will come down. I'll soften that elbow in towards my rib cage as I bend over. Bring it up. Other arm. I'm going to inhale on the up and over. Exhale up. Stay nice and tall. Inhale on the up and over. Exhale up. Now round forward one last time. Pull your torso towards those thighs. Can you bend your right knee and just focus on the left thigh stretching and that hamstring? And push your right knee flatter and just soften your left knee. So now I switch the legs. Pull forward. Press both legs down, scoop that belly, and stack your spine. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Facing forward, we're going to sit crisscross applesauce. I'm going to let my body lean forward. I'm going to take my knees heavier towards my mat. You should feel a nice release, inner thighs, hip flexors. Yes. I'm going to do a little circle, down, out, and around. Down, out, and around. Nice little circles. I'm going to reverse my circle. Of course, you're having your core engaged. Round it around. Last one. Stack your spine. Give me a nice big inhale up. Exhale down. Can you grow taller on the exhale? And one more. Spine goes up, 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 but not the shoulders. And take it down. And you have made it. Nicely done tonight. All right. We like that block, don't we?